All right, my friends, so today is August the 12th. It is a few hours into the New York session. Let's do the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. First thing that we need to address is going to be the news events. I don't really care about the PPI on Tuesday, but the CPI on Wednesday is probably going to be pretty significant. Generally speaking, you guys know my rough outline of how I expect to trade these events. But because of how things had played out and the boomers were all scared of recessions and whatnot, I think that the CPI is going to end up being really important this week because of that. So everybody's going to be patiently waiting to see how those numbers come out in the print. As far as how I plan on trading it, right, I do kind of roughly expect the same kind of guideline of sell pressure Monday, Tuesday, and then unwind Wednesday. That script has been changing a little bit just because everybody's kind of become comfortable and knows how things play out. So I'm going to try to be a little bit dynamic in how I approach that this week. Okay, let's do Bitcoin higher time frame. So as far as higher time frame is concerned, there isn't too much of a major update to be had today. We're more or less just playing off of what we've been saying for an eternity now. I still think that we're going to be going risk on in Q4, and I understand that market structure right now is terrible, right? This is the only really significant bearish argument that needs to be put in, is that we're making lower lows and lower highs, right, within this macro range. And that's obviously doesn't bode well for the thesis. However, if it really comes down to just how reflexive this market is and the idea that people's view on value within crypto and specifically Bitcoin is basically entirely having to do with price. If price is up, the value is good. When price is down, the value is down as well, right? It really is that simple, right? So just a simple couple reclaims, right? And all of a sudden, you've probably seen this just today. Look how bullish everybody was on a 3% up move day. It's just crazy the kind of stark differences that you're going to get and how people react versus an up day and a down day. And, maybe whether you start out higher or lower than, the previous move, none of that really goes into it for anybody. So main thing for me is still remaining macro bullish. From positioning standpoint, I'm playing it safe, so that definitely separating thesis and positional risk. As I always like to make that point, patiently waiting for the range reclaim. 60K was macro support. 60K is a major overlap, which we're going to discuss here in detail momentarily. So the main thing for right now for bulls is, are they going to build out the range below the previous range, or are they going to reclaim it? Those are the two kind of main scenarios that I'm working with right now. So yeah, 60K is the level that bulls have to fight for right now. As long as we're below 60K though, you want to be definitely risk adverse with how you're approaching things. And these are also, we're definitely in a regime or a meta that I would advocate for very aggressive profit taking. If you're interested in gaining access to the spaghetti template and learning how to properly utilize it, you should consider joining the Paragon group. So let's go ahead and get into medium time frame. We have not broken down from this value yet, right? There's been, there was an attempt back in May, there's an attempt in July, and there's an attempt in August, right? We've had 3 attempts to break from this value, and we haven't successfully done that yet. This looks like this could be the development of a breakdown from value, but it's too early to say. And it really is just we just need 1 or 2 green days, and then all of a sudden sentiment will have that stark shift back towards extreme optimism. You're seeing some signs of that today, but that's just mostly from your classic everyday bull tards that are going to be chirping about that regardless of what's going on. So the main things that I want to address on the medium time frame, there's a lot of levels to reclaim, but the most important is going to be the macro composite low, which is going to be around 61.2 or 61.3, whether you want to round up or down. That's the main level to see reclaimed. Alternatively, I want to see the rolling VWAPs from higher, so the 30-day rolling, and then all the anchored that we talked about previously. I want to see all those start to get reclaimed as well. Those will be important, but definitely, just composite low structuring and the 5-month composite as well, right? So basically, we'll call it, 60K has so many overlaps, and then the more extreme version of that is going to be 61.2. So those are the main levels to pay attention for reclaims. Until you start to see those, you want to be aggressive with profit taking. I think that trading unbiasedly bearish or bullish is probably the play right now, just because we are getting good moves up and good moves down, so we don't really need to have a preference between the two. So that's pretty much it, right? In all the last several videos, I've wanted to make this point that you know, if you look around at what you see on social media, whenever we have a move up or down, it's just basically everybody is just following price. So price goes up and we're bullish, price goes down and we're bearish. And I've really been trying to drive home that point in the group that if you can transition away from that, you know, style of thinking more towards what's going to happen next rather than what just happened, you can start to get a little bit ahead of the curve. And that's a huge part of how my planning and preparation has enabled me to trade this directionally better than a lot of other people. It's because I'm not reacting to what just happened. Like, you know, as in price goes up, so I want to buy. You know, I always preach the idea of react and not predict, so don't get it twisted that we're not, you know, we're not mixing those two things. These are separate topics. But just because price went up doesn't mean that you should just be looking for long setups necessarily, right? We're not in that kind of regime. We're in a chop, you know, medium to low volatility meta. Okay, quick conversation around altcoins, right? So most altcoins, you know, as I've said for a while now, they look absolutely terrible. So let's just go ahead and cover some of the ones that I don't think look terrible. So Solana is definitely one of the ones that is holding up, you know, structure. This has been a core bag for me for a very long time now, and I still continue to think that this coin has the potential to trade up. It hasn't developed anything terrible as far as structuring goes. So yeah, I mean, I feel largely optimistic on this. Let's do a quick medium time frame scan. Yeah, this is what I was worried about on medium time frame. Even the strong coins look bad on medium time frame, but basically when we have a move like we just had where we sold all the way down to like what, 49K or something, no coin is going to survive market structure wise. So any of the coins that look good on higher time frame, you need to start making medium time frame reclaims in order for that argument to be super valid to actually take the trades, to put the risk on. But yeah, that's pretty much the expectation for this week, guys. So good luck out there. And hopefully everybody is enjoying themselves and, you know, surviving when many of our peers are not. So cheers, and I'll see you out there.